Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a lovely Civic. This is a 1.8 EX automatic, covered just under 47,000 miles only, and it's incredibly clean. Been very well maintained as well, full service history on the vehicle. It's coming as a part exchange to us, chaps, bought a Honda CR-V, and he's kept this car simply beautifully. Now the car actually shows 4 owners. The last 3 are actually being members of the same family, very close family. So literally, it's effectively had 2 owners, but we have to record what we see. Front of the car, really clean, lights and lenses, clear and intact. There's no cracks or condensation in them. Bonnet, can't see a stone chip of any note on there at all. It's incredible. Near side of the car, beautifully smooth in the panels, no car parking dinks or dents. The car's been washed off, it's not been polished, nothing like that. It's got a really lovely natural gleam to it. Facts. The sun doesn't. I do it in the shade, by the way, so you can see the paintwork more clearly, not to hide anything. It's quite the opposite. Right back, absolutely beautiful. Offside, driver's side, again, just so clean in the panels. Main panel work, absolutely fantastic. Externally, for a car that's now coming up to 11 years old, it's been kept in beautiful condition. Let's come into the boot area. It almost looks as though the boot has never been used. The video doesn't really do it justice. Huge boot as well. It's coming to the back now, wide open rear doors, enormous amounts of leg room, and leather work again has been kept in absolutely beautiful condition. Let's go into the front, passenger side door card, lovely and clean. Footwell areas likewise, with a full set of original Honda mats in the car. Passenger seat there, super condition. So finally coming in on the driver's side, and door card very clean and tidy. Driver's seat for a car of its age is incredibly clean. So inside the car now, engine running, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated. It looks absolutely stunning in here. Sat nav, you can see, working exactly as it should. Likewise, rear parking camera, which complements the front and rear parking sensors on this car. Just coming down the centre, do apologise, I've got a glitchy camera this morning. It is cold. It was just stunning in here. And then my favourite part, this wonderful 2-tier design. That is just design genius, it really is. You see there, no warning lights at all on the car. I'll pan in there, 46,958 miles. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual, pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.8 EX automatic. Car's registered NL63ELV, and a mileage of just 46,959 recorded. The reason for all of our videos, and as I say in each and every one, especially this bit, the road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the very car advertised actually in operation. And the reason we've always felt it important is because, like far too many people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or description, only to get there and find out it's got an obvious fault that shows up when you drive the car. This particular car, as I said in the walk-around video, has come in via part exchange to us. I don't want to build, I hate saying this in some ways, but it's one of the nicest people I've ever dealt with, I have to say. And it's, for reasons I won't go into, I'm very proud to be able to offer this car, and I will do my very best to ensure it goes to an equally good home for him. Engine starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge running at a 3rd, which is exactly where it's meant to be, even on a bitterly cold day like today. The engines, as always with Honda 4 cylinders, is utterly brilliant. It's incredibly strong and reliable over huge mileages with just good regular maintenance. They're cam chain driven, so there's no cam belts to worry about. But just a lovely engine. It's sweet, it's quiet, it's tractable, it picks up and goes. It just does everything really, really well. And then feeds through into the auto gearbox, which has the same reputation for being incredibly tough. Gear changes are slick and smooth on the move. You should always check, as I always say with auto boxes, just make sure when you select drive or reverse from stationary, they don't engage with a great clunk or thunk, or whack you in the back. And the gear changes should be smooth on the move, and these ones are exactly that. Coming to the steering chassis, my favourite part of the Civics always has been. Steering tracks dead straight. I don't do that just to go over a bump. It does track dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to legal limit, and I know that because I drove it back down the motorway from when I dropped the chap's car off. But a lovely power steering setup. It's quick, it's direct, it's very accurate, but it flows with the chassis. They talk to each other absolutely brilliantly. But it's got a real verve about the car. I've always said about these Civics, it's a car that I've sold loads to people who have had quite sporty cars in the past but now need a more practical vehicle but don't want to lose out on driver enjoyment, and the Civic still gives you that. They're very, very, very accomplished cars, yet they're very comfortable and smooth on the move as well, which is, for most people that's all they want. The chassis itself, as I said, it's just a really pleasant car to drive, but when you go through the corners, it corners flat, and as I said, with real keenness. There's also, by the way, absolutely no kind of clunks, rattles or anything coming from underneath the vehicle. The whole car just feels absolutely tight as a drum, but given its service history, that's exactly what you'd expect. Brakes on the car, I'm not going to go mad because we've got black ice and everything, but really good solid brake pedal. Very recently fitted rear discs and pads, actually. He made note of that to me. And then you come inside the car, and I've always admitted my bias for these cars. It's an interior that you get or you don't. Marmite interiors, people will often say, but what I love about it, it is different. It can only be a Civic in here, which I absolutely love, but it's there for function, not just for style. Quite often you get in a highly stylised vehicle and switchgears scattered everywhere, you've got to squint to look for information. Not so with this. It's also beautifully put together. A real test for cars is really frosty, ice cold mornings when the plastics are hard and they can rattle about, yet this is as solid as a rock inside. The most conventional part of the car, this centre stack here, sat nav, nice easy to use one, all working perfectly. Dual zone climate control, so you have different temperatures side to side if you so wish. That does pump out cold air. We put it in a nice warm workshop earlier to check for that. Heated seats, likewise, working beautifully on the car, which daylight today is an absolute given. But my favourite part is always this two-tier design, absolute genius. The upper deck is the information you can look at most regularly. So you've got an information pod up there. So I do things like change radio, or in this case fan speed. Little display up there, much bigger one up there, easier to read. But the one I love is the speedo. There it is, all by itself. It means you can look at pedestrians as coming the other way, cars, cyclists, whatever, but not take your eyes off the road for a single second. And down below that, a conventional pod of 3 dials, rev counter flanked by temperature and fuel gauges, and then you've got this lovely chunky steering wheel. But it is a wonderful car, this one. It's a testament to how it's been kept over the years, and whoever gets it next will be very, very lucky indeed.